Welcome back. Whoa, do you remember the show we did with a guy from Austria? Remember the time I talked about England? Well, today we're going back to Europe. And I'm going to tell you something. We've got someone from Berlin. And the last time you were in Berlin at a cafe, you might have heard him playing because he is a rock musician like you can't believe. And he's here in Mayapack to visit. So I stole him, brought him here for you. My name is Vin Dacquino. His name is Todd Goldfinger. Oh my God.
Wow.
Buddy.
Wow.
You and I go way back.
We do.
And I can't believe you left us.
Well.
And went out to make a name for yourself.
Tried.
Across the sea. Talk to me, Todd, about what you've been doing, what happened. Let them know who you are and what it's all about.
Okay, so who I am and what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Who I am and what it's all about. All right, so here goes. Everybody, you prepared for this? Are you ready? You fasten into your seat belts and everything is fine? Good. Okay, so I look at this one or this one. I don't know who. This guy. Okay, so I'll give you the story exactly about what happened in my life when I left Mayapack in about, what was it? I think it was like a 2001, okay? And it wasn't the Space Odyssey either. So basically what it was is that, 9/11 happened, and, my lovely mother and Ron, they were stuck in Italy, so I had a good chance for myself to escape out of the situation. And I packed my bags and I left, and I went down to Miami.
Whoa, that's the way to do it. You get two choices, stay or leave.
Stay or leave, stay or leave. Stay or leave. A little bit back up to the stories. Yeah, just stay or leave. So I just kept traveling and going on and on and on, and I traveled through the United States.
So no special destination. You just knew you had to get out of here, and you did.
I knew that I had to get out of here. This was the kick in the ass that I was looking for. I sold my car the morning of 9/11. It was just by chance. It was just by chance that this happened, and yeah, basically that's the story.
Did you have any idea of where you were going or why, or you just were on the move?
I knew that after college, after I finished SUNY Purchase, where I did a bachelor in studio composition, then I decided that I wanted to travel, and the only way I was going to be able to do it is on my own. And so I packed up my things when I saw the opportunity to go, and I got out of there. I got out of there as soon as I could.
So you landed in?
I landed in Miami.
Miami? Wow.
Miami. I was living with my aunt and uncle, and I was visiting my grandparents, who I love very dearly. My grandfather was also a very great artist as well. And yeah, they're both deceased now. But I was down there, and then I fell into depression, and I was hospitalized, and I went on medication. And it was just a crazy, crazy, wild.
So it seemed like the bottom, but it wasn't.
It seemed like the bottom. I thought it was over. I didn't see any options for myself. I didn't know what I could possibly do. In Miami, it seemed so vapid and plastic and artificial, and there didn't seem to be the kind of culture that I was really interested in, culturally speaking. As an artist, I didn't feel like I could.
But you were a musician.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Did you any music down in Miami?
I didn't do any music in Miami, but I did some headshots because I was thinking about going into acting, and that was one of the things I did. But I saw that I couldn't live in this kind of situation anymore, living with my aunt and uncle in this kind of atmosphere. So I thought, okay, now I have to go live with my friend in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Well,
so then I went to Tennessee.
Miami to Tennessee.
Miami to Tennessee.
It's almost the same thing, right?
Not quite, not quite, not quite, not quite. It's even more redneck and, this kind of thing. Can you say that these days? Can you say that?
Is that did.
Cultural? I just did. Culturally? What words can you say? Okay, anyway, but this is the kind of thing it was. And, yeah, it's a little bit, So anyway, Tennessee, Johnson City, that's where I was for a couple of months. I worked at a gas station, and then I decided, okay, what the hell am I going to do next? I'm going to go back out to the place, the last place I remember that I was with my father, that I had a great time, and that was Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, so We went from Miami to Tennessee. Now we're in Phoenix.
Phoenix.
So what's Phoenix doing for you?
Phoenix, not much. I was like homeless. I was working at a place called Whataburger. I don't even know if they're still in business. And, you know, the kind of thing was just, I was just searching for myself, searching for anything. I was about 22 years old at the time. And I was out of college, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
So how long did it take to start finding out where you were going, what you were going to do?
Okay. After some traveling, I made my way to Portland, Oregon.
Okay. Now
yeah.
from Phoenix
Exactly.
to Portland.
Yeah.
Portland any better for you?
Portland was fantastic. Portland was really, really great because it's sort of an alternative city, and this was in 2002. I think I was there, and you know, I think it was even. I don't know what it's like now, but then it was like the new cool place to hang out, and this is where the young people go to retire.
There you go. Oh, I love that term. Where the young people go to retire.
Yeah, right. You finish college, you don't know what the hell you're going to do with your life. You go to Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
All
Before
right.
it became hipster's paradise, you know, which is also Berlin right now. I'm sorry to say it, but yeah. So it was kind of like that.
So you go to Portland, Oregon. How long did you stay?
Portland, I stayed for some months, and then I started working at an amusement park where I met some Polish girls, and one of them I took a liking to, and she says, "Why don't you come to Poland and teach English and get out of the whole U.S. thing and see Europe?"
So tell me you went from Portland, Oregon to Poland.
To Poland.
Woo!
To Poland, December 2002.
And did you really go and teach English?
I really taught English.
Wow.
For the first time, I just dove right into cold water, and I just jumped right in.
Now, were these the kids?
No, these were like young adults. Young
Wow.
adults.
Now, you taught English to Polish
people.
Oh,
yeah, Polish-speaking
wow.
people.
Oh, wonderful.
It was the first time I ever did anything.
How'd you like it?
I loved it. I loved it so much.
Wow.
But you know, during this time, I was taking medications and things like that, and I went off my medications, and I quit my job, and I started making music full time.
Wow.
And I was making experimental music with improvisation and things like that, and I met a great guitar player, totally genius guy, who's now living in, I think he's in Belfast now.
Portland, Oregon. No, where is he?
He's in Belfast.
Belfast.
But I met him in Wrocław, Wrocław, as they call it. Yeah, it's a very nice
So in Poland, you began to find yourself.
Mm-hmm. In Poland, I began to find myself, and it was just like I felt Europe was like, yeah, I love it. This is like culturally speaking, like I can really feel like I can.
And
do
where
things.
were you living? Like in an apartment or with
I
someone?
was living in an apartment. I was living with her name was I don't know if I should say her name, but
Oh, okay.
it's okay.
You were living with
my girlfriend, my Polish
Okay.
girlfriend at the time,
That's good.
and it was very nice. And
You were still teaching. How long did
I was
you
teaching.
teach?
I taught for about, it was about 6 months before I went off my medications and thought, okay, I just have to do music, just all eggs in one basket and just do music. And you know,
So were you writing it, playing it? What were
I
you
was
doing?
I was not writing it, but I was writing it like in my head,
Okay.
and then I was always you know, doing
Creative
it live,
process.
creative process, doing it, recording every
Yep.
single day, and it was fantastic. We just did it like that. And it was
So
really
now
great.
did you play out anywhere?
We didn't do any gigs, but we did some busking. Like we played in like a town square and we made some money and things like that.
Oh,
It was
that's
nice.
cool.
Very
All right, so that was another chapter. And so after the Poland chapter, what happens then?
After I went off my medication, after Poland, I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? I've burnt all my bridges. I can't, you know, I feel like the people don't want to hire me anymore because now they know I'm totally crazy. And so, like...
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. So, and then, basically, I thought, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home. So I went back to New York.
Wow, so you went back to New York from
Yeah, I went
Poland.
back to New York from Poland.
And how'd that work out?
Well, not so good. I got depressed again, you know. And
Now, what's this, about 2003 now?
Yeah, 2003.
Okay.
2003.
So 2003, you're back in New York, and now you're back in the dumps.
I was back in the dumps. I was down.
So you're back on medication at that point?
I hospitalized myself. I voluntarily drove myself to the hospital, and then I was there for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then I was back on the meds again, and then I was able to sort of, reconnect what I wanted to do, get stabilized, so to speak.
Right.
To get stabilized. That's what it was all about.
I hear you.
Yeah, because I was very down.
Because, you know what, people don't realize that once you've stepped over the edge, it's very difficult to get back.
What is the edge?
Yeah.
What is the edge?
It differs for each person.
Right,
It really does. And, different people have different edges.
Exactly.
These
borders and things.
And when you've been to the edge of the valley and you've looked down, you're able to look up again. And that's what you have to do. And I think people have reached that point in all different ways.
Yeah, sure.
So you were here, you're back on the bottom.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen next. What does happen next?
What happens next? Then I thought, what am I going to do? I really have to remember this now because this is so funny because it's really like digging. This is like, my goodness, it's like 13 years ago. Okay, so what happened next? Does anybody remember what happened next? Can I ask?
Let me check the computer.
I went back to Portland, Oregon. Okay, my mom and Ron are in the audience.
Oh, there you go.
They're great supporters as well. I just want to give them a shout out.
Yeah, there you go. Little shout out.
Shout out.
Welcome.
Exactly. Nice to have them here.
So back to Portland, Oregon,
where you
had good vibes.
Good vibes. I started working. I think I went back to the amusement park, which is like 100 years old.
Wow.
It's this old rustic, great amusement park. And
to work there or?
To work there.
Oh, wow.
So I had a job.
Good.
I had a job.
That's good.
I had a friend who helped me get the job. Did the drug test. Everything was fine. I got in there. And then after that, I was living in a house with musicians, and that was very good too. Then I started working in like I was working in an adult video store for 3 months, which was really funny.
That's
One
different.
of the funniest experiences of my life. It was incredible. And then I got the itch again I started my own band.
Music started calling again.
Music started calling. Exactly. This haunting. Right. Exactly. So, Todd Goldfinger and the Fingers, Goldie and the Fingers. We did a gig, but the worst things happened when I was not on my medications because I was so erratic and I was just like, and it was a total tyrant. It was awful. It was awful. So like the band disbanded after the first gig, which was great. The band was great. And it wasn't great that we disbanded, but that's what happened. And then my mom was kind enough to say, look, just buy a car and start and do what you want to do. So I
try to ground yourself.
Ground yourself. I bought a Jeep. I drove cross country from Portland, Oregon, down to Los Angeles to Santa Barbara. I drove down the coast. It was really amazing, really wonderful. Met a nice German girl there for about 5 days, and then went to Texas, Houston, Texas, to see my friend who I knew from Tennessee before. Now he was living in Austin, which is also another cool city in the United States, gotta say. And then I drove to my cousin's wedding in, I think it was like Naples or something like that in Florida or something like that.
Yeah, Naples, Florida. I know the place.
Could be. And then I drove back up to New York again, and same process. And
then New York brought you down again.
It brought me down again. So I was just like, where am I? What am I doing?
And now we're what, 2005?
2005, very good.
Okay, all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm following.
You got it
See,
good. Very good.
I
Nice
listen.
guy. I like him. So then I talked to my cousins in Florida, and they're like, come visit. I visited, and after I spent some time just relaxing and just like...
That was a good idea.
It was a good idea. After all that traveling and everything like that, I just relaxed and said, okay, I'm going back to Europe.
Oh, that's it. So then it was back to Europe.
Back to Europe.
2005. 2006 yet?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I went back to Europe, and this time I was not on my medications. So I was still like going from place to place to place to place. But I had some money and just a suitcase and a backpack, and that was it.
Yeah, wow. You know how many people dream of those
dream
things
of doing
and
that.
then never really do it.
This is all I wanted to do.
But
and
you
I
did
still,
it. But that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to follow the dream.
Exactly.
So you're in Europe.
I'm in Europe. I try to find the girl that I met in Santa Barbara. She doesn't want to see me. It's okay. So I figure I go to London to visit my friend Chris, who's still there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do now. I called my mom and just figured, what am I going to do? I'm going back to Los Angeles, and I'm going to stay there. And Ron knew some people, so I was able to stay with someone there for about a month. Say, okay, LA's not for me. Go back to Portland, Oregon, and that's where I met my wife.
There we go. So now you're in Portland,
Oregon,
and you're really grounded now.
And now I'm getting really well. I was actually, if tell the story correctly, I was staying in a sort of like a dorm, it was like this building where it was just for students, and I was not a student, but it was $200 a month, which is not a tough.
Good. That's like unheard of. Even then.
Right, so I stayed there, and so I'm thinking, what am I going to do with my life? I think I'm gonna commit suicide or something. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no plans. Here I am. What have I done? And I'm sitting in this room, and I'm just writing down every day the names of doctors, clinics, places I can go to where I can get medication. I said, you know what? I thought about my cousins, my younger cousins, and how disappointed they would be, how sad they would be if I had died or taken my life or something like this. So I thought, I'm going to go back on the medication and see what happens. So I did that. 1 month later, I meet a beautiful, beautiful Russian woman.
Wow.
Beautiful Russian woman who is leaving her husband.
Good timing.
Good timing. I mean, I shouldn't name names. I keep it anonymous because she probably wants to be private. And okay, she has a son, and I said, it's okay. We do this together. We were helping each other out.
The son is young?
8 years old.
8 years old.
Now he's 18.
New responsibility. Now you're really facing responsibility.
Big responsibility, but I took it on because I wanted to, and I wanted to have a family.
That's good.
So
you were ready.
I was ready for this,
Yep.
I was about 26, 27 at the time. And so, I met her. Valentina was her name. She's a very, very big part.
That's all right.
Very big part of my life.
Good.
It was about 10 years. So, and then I said, I am coming to Germany with you because she was studying in the south of Germany.
Oh, wow.
She's of Russian origin, like the vodka, it was very good. So
So now you're in Berlin.
No,
not yet.
Not yet. I didn't go to Berlin until a year ago. So
wow.
we have to.
Oh, we have to work to that.
We have to work to that. We're going to get
All
up
right,
to that.
I mean Russia.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so we're in Germany, and you're married to a Russian girl with an 8-year-old son.
Didn't get married yet.
Oh, okay.
So I went there. Basically, the guy, he said, you're breaking up my marriage and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to send you the money for the ticket and don't come. And I was thinking, just take the money and come, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, that's dirty. So I didn't take the ticket. I didn't take the money. But I came anyway. I went there. And I met her in the airport. She picked me up. And I stayed in sort of something called Wagenburg, which is it's like a little hippie community.
Oh, cool.
For about a week. They had a place for me. It's like what they would call trailer homes here in the U.S.
Yep.
But this is like very artsy, like made up, something like in Woodstock or something like this. Yeah. And I stayed there for about a week, and then she got a student housing for us, and then we moved right in.
Wow.
I started
and that lasted a while, right?
It lasted a good 9, almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you've come a long way.
Yeah.
I know you have some photos. We definitely
We're
want to
there.
see some of those photos.
Yeah.
And time's going quickly, so
it is.
I want to get as much of that in as we can.
Okay.
You've been very successful these last few years. Your music is out there.
Yes.
You've been kicking around in Berlin, playing.
Yes.
You even have been doing some comedy stints.
Exactly, improv comedy on the street as well.
Yeah, so a lot. So you've come a long way, haven't you?
Yes.
That's good news.
Thank you.
Let's get to a couple of those pictures.
Okay,
What
let's
do
show
we
some
got?
pictures.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. First picture, please. Okay, this is a band called Coronatus. They're based in Stuttgart. They're still around. Many of the faces have changed, but the drummer who you see on the left of me with the blonde hair, he is still the leader of the band. His name is Matson.
Now, you were a member of this band for a while?
Yeah, I was a bass player, and I played on the album called Fabula Magna, and this was the photo shoot for Fabula Magna, which was the top-rated album still on Amazon. It's got 5 stars.
Okay. Now we have another shot.
Let's see what the next one is.
Okay.
Okay, this is us playing live, 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, this is in Wietse, Belgium. We were on touring around a little bit. Or I shouldn't say full tour, but we went to different countries within Europe.
So you did some serious playing around Europe.
Yes. This was a big festival for, I think it was over 1,000 people or so, a very large stage. So it was nice. I got to fulfill many dreams.
Wow. Yeah. It's cool. All right, we have a third.
Okay, this is the band Tervingi. This is the last project that I did in the south of Germany. This was 2013. A band called Tervingi. It was a concept album. It's all in German, and you can see me on the right. Yes, yeah, I was really, really into it. And okay, this is something else. This is something else. This is a big jump.
This is part of your little shtick, right?
This is a part of my shtick.
Okay.
This is a part of my shtick. This is me being very Jewish in Berlin and acting like a good old Jewish person. You know, it's kind of like Larry David on mushrooms, if you will. Larry David on mushrooms. Yeah. So yeah.
So you were doing some now what?
Yeah, this is what brings us. This is what brings us here. This is the comedy duo Goldfinger McCartney. This is a good friend of mine, Bobby McCartney, on the right. She's she's in Berlin also right now, and I think she's she's also trying to figure out what to do with her life.
So you were doing some gigs together with her?
Yeah, we were doing live comedy actually, because we would just go to different places, even live on the bus, on the street, Warschauer Straße. We would be in the street in Berlin.
I noticed this when I went to London last March. A lot of street entertainers.
Yes, many.
I was surprised because that had a lot in common with New York, except some of these people in England, they were good.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, they're really good. And when I watched them, I was totally entertained. So you did that. You did street entertainment.
Street entertainment, but it wasn't planned. Like sometimes there'd be street musicians, which there's so many in Berlin. I would even say too much of.
Wow.
Too much of. There's way too much. Sorry to say it, but yeah, really, it's overflowing, and everyone's giving it away for free and this and that. So I would just get totally ticked off, and I'd start complaining. I would do this. I would bring out my secret weapon, of choice. I would go right here. I'd go and I'd put this on my head, and I would say, "What the hell is this? What is this? What is this?" And then people would start paying attention to what I was doing, and then somebody from Palestine brought me by the arm and said, "Here, you got to take the microphone." So I got up there and I started preaching to the audience. I said, "What the hell are you doing with your lives? You're listening to techno music and taking drugs. Get some direction, would you?" So something like this. Something like this. So that's a part of the shtick,
And
I do.
So you made your way through, and now more recently you're in Berlin, right?
I'm in Berlin. There's a documentary that's being made. I'm one of the main characters as well. It has to do with mental illness and genius and insanity and things like that.
And you're a wonderful example of hitting the bottom and not staying there.
Many times hitting the bottom.
Yep, and then climbing back up again.
Yeah.
When I coached wrestling years ago, we had a little prayer that we did. You got to fight till you can't fight no more. Can't fight no more, get up, fight again.
It's true, Vinny, but I have to tell you though, it's a part of my condition as well. It's a part of my mental condition, which is called...
But you need to go down to come up?
I don't know if I need to go down, but sometimes, look, I did an interview where I had 3 women, I was talking to 3 women, and I was massaging their feet and joking with them and having a great time. And at the end of the night, I felt like the worst shit ever. I was at the bottom. So this kind of bipolar kind of
that's what it is,
thing, you know, it's like, it's an illness. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Sorry to say it.
And it's working through that.
Working
trying
through
to
that.
work through it.
Yeah.
So you're back here in New York for a little while. You going back? Or you staying here for a while? What's happening?
I'm going to stay for a little while. If there's work, I stay. That's the way it goes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you see what your condition is at the time.
Exactly.
Don't go back down.
Not going to go back down. I got wonderful support at home.
You do.
I got,
you do.
yeah,
Good
right.
people to
Very
support
good people.
you.
Very
And
good
that's
people.
that's an important thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lesson to be learned in all of this.
Is there?
Yeah. You got to be.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got to be who you need to be.
You have to be yourself. That's
And
true.
you have to find yourself. You can't just be yourself till you know who you are.
Right.
So I've known you a long time.
That's
you were
true.
a little
You
peanut
knew
at a camp. You were in my poetry class.
I loved that class.
And
That was a
you
great class.
were good.
Thank you.
Your poetry, I knew then that this was not a typical kid. You've never been a typical kid.
Thank you.
And keep being who you are.
Yes.
Keep fighting for who you are. You're back here in New York.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do.
Thank you.
We're about 2 minutes from the end of this thing.
Oh, 2 minutes?
What
Okay.
do we need to say, Todd?
You know what I want to say? I want to go on Howard. I want to go on Howard Stern. That would be really
Howard,
good.
you listening?
Howard, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Buhai, Buhai, Buhai. Please, 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 I would like to go on your show and just talk to you a little bit, if I could, all right? Something like this.
Yeah.
What else could be said? Take your medications if you're out there.
I
If
mean-
you're struggling, you're not alone, okay? It feels like you're alone because you're an individual, okay?
You're right. And I mean, Howard Stern is a wonderful example. He's a
Totally.
guy that he had
did it.
his
He
ups
did
and
it.
downs,
Yeah, he's a big hero of mine.
but he really had some ups too. And we have to do that. We have to live with the ups. We have to live for the ups. We have to remember our support systems. We have to stay close to the people who keep us up.
Yeah.
Don't allow yourself to go back down, but it happens. When it does, reach out.
And breathe.
Yes,
and
breathe.
Don't
You
forget
need-
to breathe and
that's
drink
right.
lots of water. It's very good. It's very good. Hydrate yourself. Hydrate yourself. And yeah, if you do have the opportunity in a controlled setting to try magic mushrooms, it's, no,
Don't try magic
cut it,
mushrooms.
cut it.
You didn't hear that here.
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. Take your medications. Don't. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. What a great guest. Thank you so much for being here with us. This kid means a lot. So do you. Be all you can be.
Thank you.
You too, buddy.
Thank you, man. You're
Thank
great.
you. Thank you for being here with